for some housekeeping. Those of you that have one, and I'm sure you do, please put it on silent or turn it off. All right, if you need one, the bathrooms are straight across the hall and on the right. If there's no flash photography, but if you would like to take pictures without a flash, be my guest. We are an amateur company that are working towards becoming a professional company. Everyone that's a part of the show tonight is a volunteer. There is a tip jar in the back. If you've got somebody that you wanted to bless, feel free. If you're interested in our future productions, there's a sign-up sheet for your name and address and email address. And if you like the play, please tell your friends and post it on whatever social media you choose. Ladies and gentlemen, I beg to announce to you that the play tonight that you are about to watch is unique in this respect. It's true. By that I mean that the tale has not been drawn from the imaginings of the author, but from real life. Now, there are some few individuals, very few, that will instantly recognize the incidents and characters in this play, but there is no danger that they will ever be exposed, because those people have the best of motives for holding their tongue. So, as you're watching, if you see something that is curious or odd, please place the responsibility not on the authors, but on that curious and strange thing we call life. Reflection Theater and Charles Gilmore present to you The Big Idea.
One. Come in.
Hello, Rick. I hope I'm not disturbing your grand opus or anything like that.
No, I wasn't writing.
Well, what's the matter? Has your muse got on strike or are you waiting for inspiration?
Yeah, that's it. I'm waiting for inspiration.
Well, for the love of Mike, let's have a little light. Well, then why don't you do your waiting downstairs? It's a dash sight more inspiring down there. Have you seen the Pippin Elsie's brought home with her from college?
No, I haven't. I've got other things on my mind right now.
Well, forget it. I got a little bet going on that says that I can bring you downstairs.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Dear me, what's the matter? Got another rejection slip for the Saturday Evening Post?
No, do you remember that life insurance policy you sold me over a year ago?
Do I? I should guess yes. $25,000. The first big one I ever wrote. You want some more?
No.
A little accident insurance, perhaps?
No,
Hey?
no.
Now, my company has a policy that will give you $2,000 for a leg.
No, I was glancing this over and I was wondering, say, you once confided to me that you would hope to marry my sister.
I hope you don't think I've forgotten it.
Well, don't thinking me impertinent, but I was wondering, I've got an excellent reason for wondering if you're of the same mind.
I most certainly am. My company has promised me the first district managership open. When I get that, I'm going to put my fortune to the touch, but Well, just at present. I mean, my father's a minister, and none of the rest of my family had any money either.
Well, have you said anything to Elsie?
Don't be a dolt. Of course I haven't. Naturally, I've dropped a few hints. I said that no chap had any right to ask a girl to marry him unless he was sure he could take care of her. And I said I had about as much money as he'd get for a loan on a 1-cent stamp. But I really haven't said anything.
Well, what did she say?
She said she hoped I would be very successful in business.
Oh, I see.
What'd you want to know about that policy?
Well, I was just glancing through it, and what I want to know is this. That if something were to happen to me by accident tomorrow or tonight.
Say, Rick, I wish you wouldn't talk like that.
Well, it could happen, you know.
Well,
If I died, when would the money be paid?
in the ordinary course of business, the money would be paid to your father in about 30 days.
Oh, well, that's not very soon, is it?
Well, people aren't generally in that great of a hurry. First, there's the funeral, and that's a 3-day affair, and it takes a few days to get over that. Then it's generally 10 to 2 weeks for people to sufficiently get over their grief in order to look on the bright side of things.
Okay, well, what if it were some special case, some urgent need for the money? Is there any way it could be paid sooner?
It might.
How about 2 days?
Not unless somebody had a pull with the company.
Okay, but you've got to pull with the company, don't you?
Fair.
Okay, well, what I need to know is this. If I died tonight, is there any way you could pay out this policy no later than Thursday noon?
Not unless somebody not unless somebody boosted it along.
Okay, but you could do that.
Oh, yes, I suppose I could. Look here, Rick, you talk as if you're gonna kill yourself.
Well, I am. Tonight.
Say, Rick, if this is a joke, just tell me.
I wish it were a joke. My dad's in terrible trouble.
Trouble?
Well, he endorsed a big sum for an old friend of his, and the old friend turned out to be a crook. So he had to borrow money from the bank to make good, and then other investments he had went sour, and the long and short of it is, he can't make good.
Can't make good?
He's borrowed money from the bank, and he can't pay it back. And the deficit is sure to be discovered when the bank examiner comes down on Friday.
But how much does he owe?
He's managed to raise most of it, but he's still $20,000 short.
$20,000? That's not so terribly much.
Oh, it isn't? Well, maybe you can lend it to me.
$20,000? My whole family couldn't raise $20,000 to save all our lives.
There, you see?
But your father is a man of consequence in business. Are you sure he tried everything possible?
Do you think a man like my father would leave any stone unturned if he was facing a prison sentence for embezzlement?
Embezzlement?
No, he didn't mean it. Not for the whole world, but that's not going to help him now, so you can see it's up to me.
No, you don't mean. Rick, I won't stand for it.
There's no other way.
There must be.
Okay, what?
You have relatives. Surely they would give the very clothes off their backs at a time like this.
Sure, we've got relatives, but most of the clothes they have are the clothes on their back. I mean, they haven't got $100 between them. My dad has supported them all these years.
But this house...
It's mortgaged. The summer home is mortgaged. Every rag, every stick of furniture, every share of stock. Altogether, it's not enough.
You mean to tell me that you're going to die for the matter of $20,000?
No. No, it's for my father and my mother and my sister. Listen, I can't take any chances. There can be no ifs or buts about this. My father has got to have $20,000 no later than Thursday noon, just as sure as the sun rises that day. Listen, if my father goes to prison, it will ruin him. It'll ruin my mother. Honestly, I think it would kill her. And my sister, she'd have this dark shadow over her the rest of her life. But me? I mean, I'm just me. I'm not married, I'm not engaged, I'm not in love. They would grieve for me, God bless them, but there would be no disgrace to darken the rest of their lives.
Not when they knew you killed yourself.
Well, they wouldn't have to know that.
What do you mean?
Well, there's an anti-suicide clause in the policy, right?
Yes.
And if there was any suspicion, there would be a delay in the payment.
I suppose
Well,
so.
then there cannot be any suspicion. I've got to die in such a way that no one will know it was anything but an accident. Now, this is the obvious picture of my death that must be constructed, okay? Let's say I'm in bed and something will occur to me, as it often does, and I come down here to write it down. I'm groping around in the dark, and I accidentally tip over this vase of flowers, and I spill water on the floor, right about here. I stand barefoot in the water, and I reach for the light, but I accidentally touch the wire where the insulation has worn off. The current will race through my body, and I'll die without a sound.
Rick!
Now, pay attention, because this is where you come in. You get to the house about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let's say we arrange to play golf. But you find the place in an uproar, but you take control. You do what you can. You bring the medical examiner in here. You push the thing through, and you get this money to my father no later than Thursday noon. And no one can suspect. No one would ever dream that I ever had a reason for committing suicide. And you know what? I'm going to call Andrew Williams right now and ask him to join us.
Rick, it's damnable!
Look, if you were in my place, what would you do? Come in. Who is it?
Well, Mr. Caswell,
Well,
I thought you said you could bring him downstairs.
I tried.
Well, you tried and failed, so now suppose you run along and go down and leave me alone with the enemy.
I can't.
You can't, but you will. Remember, I am she who must be obeyed. Now run along.
Earth to Rick?
Well, that's okay, Rick. You'll see me later.
He's a cheerful little chap, isn't he? Oh, well, I suppose you're wondering who I am. I'm Elaine Foster, and you might as well make up your mind to be nice to me, because your sister brought me home for the Easter holidays. How do you do?
How do you do, Miss Foster? Won't you sit down?
Well, that's decent of you anyway. I rather expected you to bite me.
Bite you?
Yes, I was assured that your study was some sort of a sacred spot that must not be invaded upon pain of death. So now you see what a brave thing a woman can do when she's angry.
Oh, angry. Are you angry?
I am.
At whom?
At you.
At me? What for?
Well, I'm not used to being treated in this manner.
What do you mean?
Well, here I come from Vassar on a visit with your sister. I've been hearing about you for months, sister for some odd reason being rather proud of you. I've even read your name in the magazines a few times.
Oh. Well, I thank you.
I rather liked that story of yours about the man with the pink hair.
Oh. Well, I thank you.
So naturally, under the circumstances, I expected a little attention. I'm not exactly negligible.
No, so it seems.
But you don't appear at dinner, and me in my new gown. And then after dinner, you send word that you're not coming down at all. Well, naturally, I'm a bit peevish.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Miss Foster, but the fact is
Well, when
that...
I don't like a thing, I say so. So I'm saying so now.
Well, Miss Foster, I do apologize. I had no idea I was being so rude. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you?
Yes, you can come downstairs and play with us. You do know how to play, don't you?
Oh, I've seldom done anything else.
Oh, well, then you'll come along.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Oh, well, why not?
Well, I've got something important to do.
Oh, put it off. Come, I'm certain you'll like me once you get to know me. You mustn't mind my coarse, rough ways. Despite an unpromising exterior, I'm really rather nice.
Well, that seems likely.
But you'll come?
No, I'm sorry.
Well, not when I've come a tapping, tapping, tapping on your study door. I could carry the parody even further. You remember there's something about nevermore.
Yes, there is,
And-
nevermore.
And it isn't every day strange women come a-tapping at your study door, now is it?
No, hardly.
Well, then come along.
I'm sorry, I just can't.
Well, why can't you?
I've got something important to do.
Oh, you're working out a story, I suppose?
Yes, that's it, a story.
Oh, well, what's the matter? Won't it come out right?
No, there doesn't seem to be anything but tragedy at the end of it.
Oh, and I suppose you're looking for the happy ending so popular with the public.
Well, there doesn't seem to be any happy ending to this one.
Are you sure?
I'm certain.
Well, of course, you should have been certain of your ending before you began your story.
I was.
Well, then why do it at all?
Well, I have to. I just can't help it.
Oh, the creative instinct driving you on. I can understand that. You see, I write myself.
Oh, you do?
Well, actually, I'm just your sister's English professor. But I love fiction best, plots and construction and all that sort of thing. I like to see the wheels go round.
Ah, yes. You know, Elsie told me how clever you are.
Oh, I wouldn't call it cleverness, just a sort of feeling about things. All my life, I've been doing things that people said were perfectly crazy. But I always felt that they would come out all right, and they always did. And just now, I've got a feeling about you.
About me?
Yes. I've got a feeling I can help you find your happy ending.
I'm afraid you don't understand the difficulty of this problem.
Oh, the more difficult, the better. Anyone can solve an easy problem.
Well, there are some that can't be solved.
Don't you believe it? There's always a way out. The trick is to find it.
Well, Elaine, you have persuaded Rick to go to the dance with us?
No, Elsie, I'm afraid I haven't.
Well, I thought Bob was taking you to the dance.
Say, Elsie, do we have to go to this confounded dance?
I do anyhow, I promised Sally.
Oh, well, Elsie, you wouldn't mind if I don't go either.
What is the matter with you folks? You know this dance is a perfectly respectable affair.
Well, I've been talking with your brother, and this might be the only chance I get, so I'd better make the most of it.
Well, he's not much to talk to tonight. Rick, what's the matter with you?
Me? Oh, don't worry about me,
And
sis.
what did you do to Bob?
Me? What did I do to Bob?
He was perfectly all right when he went upstairs to see you, and when he came down, look at him now.
What's the matter with me?
Oh, he's going to a dance. That's why he looks so bright and
He
gay.
doesn't look any worse than usual.
Say, Rick, can you tell me about the
Oh,
confounded...
Elaine,
Bob,
why don't
Bob.
you go with us?
Well, the fact is, Elsie, your brother and I are talking shop.
Shop.
Yes, we're working out the plot of a story, and, well, if it's all the same to you, we'd rather go on doing it. Well, at least I would. Of course, I have no right to speak for him.
Oh, no, please don't go. Please stay.
Oh, I see. Well, we're not going for 15 minutes. If you've got Rick's little masterpiece straightened out by then, come on down. If not, we'll go without you. Besides, I'll only stay an hour or so.
Well, will you tell your mother where we are?
I'll tell her when she comes down. She's upstairs with Father. Ready, Bob? Mr. Caswell, are you ready? Come on, we're going to a dance, not a funeral.
Make my sorries to Sally, won't you?
I will not. Make them yourself.
Now, suppose we put our heads together and find that happy ending.
Miss Foster, I appreciate it, but it really isn't worth your while.
Oh, a happy ending is always worthwhile. Why don't you read me your story?
Well, I haven't even written it down. I've just planned it.
Well, all the better, then you can tell it to me.
Well, yes, but...
You better try me. I'm rather good at that sort of thing. I might be able to help you.
All right, I will. This story is about a person who's...
A man or woman?
Well, it's a woman, a girl.
Oh, about Elsie's age?
Yes. She has an uncle, and he's a banker, and he's given her everything she has, and he's raised her, he's educated her, and she loves him deeply.
Yes.
Well, he's in trouble financially. He's borrowed money from the bank. He can't repay it.
Oh, stolen?
Well, that's what the law would say, but he didn't mean any harm.
Oh, I see. Danger of discovery.
Oh, yes, discovery. He needs $20,000 in 3 days, or certain discovery, ruin, prison. And for his wife and daughter, disgrace.
Oh, and you want this girl to save him?
Oh, yes.
How?
Well, she has a life insurance policy that he bought her for $25,000.
And you want her to give her life?
Yes.
Oh, but this policy, would it be paid in case of suicide?
No, so she wants to make it look like an accident.
How?
Well, I haven't quite figured that out yet.
Won't be easy.
No, it will not.
But $20,000, that shouldn't be too difficult to raise if one had time.
Yeah, but he hasn't got time.
He?
Well, I mean,
Oh, the uncle.
there isn't time.
Tell me, has this girl any other relatives?
No.
Well, then I think it should be her father who is in trouble, because then she would be giving her life not only for him, but also for her mother and sister. Isn't that so?
Well, I suppose.
Strange you didn't think of that.
Well, I don't know. It's just a detail.
But it is better that way. Make it father and daughter. Or I know, better yet, make it father and son.
Either way, the situation is still the same.
Yes. The point is there any way out?
Yes. Is there any way out?
There's a man at the door, Rick. He wants to see Father. He seems rather excited, and I don't know what to do.
Oh, well, doesn't he know that Father is ill and can't be disturbed?
Yes, but he insists on seeing him. Says he won't go away till he does.
Well, what's his name?
Mr. Burns, I think?
Burns?
Yeah, I think he's been here once or twice before.
Well, send him up, I suppose. I have to apologize. I'm going to have to take care of this.
Oh, that's all right. But listen, if I go away now, they'll send me off. They'll take me off to that confounded dance. Is there any place you can put me until he's gone?
Oh, well, sure. You can wait in my mother's sitting room.
Oh, yes, that's perfect. Thank you.
I do wish you'd come back in about 5 minutes. This man's probably a horrible bore, and it'd be a good excuse for me to get rid of him.
All right, 5 minutes.
Oh, Mr. Byrne! My sister said Burns. I beg your pardon. Won't you have a seat? Now, I understand you wish to see my father.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm sorry. He is ill and cannot be disturbed.
Well, that doesn't matter. I've got to see him.
Well, I'm afraid you can't. Is there anything I can do for you?
No, there's nothing you can do. I've got to see your father, and I tell you I will. It's a matter of the utmost importance.
Well, I must say your behavior is, to say the least, extraordinary.
Well, I don't give a mite about that. I've got to see Mr. Howard, and I tell you I will.
Is it important to him or to you?
Well, to both of us.
Well, Mr. Byrne, the fact is my father is having a nervous breakdown. Rest and quiet are what he needs, and obviously I can't let you see him.
I tell you I will not leave this house without seeing him.
Well, I'm afraid you'll have to.
Will I? Will I? Well, then I'll stand on the steps and I'll bang on the door. I'll raise a ruckus you won't forget if you live to be 100. Now you listen to me. You better let me in there and see him if you know what's good for yourself, and for him too.
Mr. Byrne, you're obviously very excited about something, and in your present condition, you're the last person that I want to see my father.
Well, that's okay. But I tell you, see him, I will.
Well, not unless you give me a reason.
All right, I will. I didn't want to have to tell you, but remember, you're driving me to it. And I've got to see him, and I'm willing to say anything to do it.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Well, I've been a paying teller at your father's bank for the last 10 years. So naturally, I've got to know him pretty well. He's always been decent to me.
Well, yes, that's his way.
Well, about 3 weeks ago, he came to me and said if I had $2,000 to spare, that he thought he saw a way that he could double it for me in a year. Well, I thought the proposition sounded pretty good to me, so I fell for it. Gave him my money on his note.
Well, what of it?
Well, a few days ago, the night watchman happened to mention to me that your father was working late the night before. I asked him if he had been in the vaults, and he said he was. I don't know why, but it got me thinking. Then your father fell sick and didn't come to the bank at all. So I did some night working of my own, and I come to find out that the bank is short thousands of dollars.
Mr. Byrne, do you realize what you're saying?
Yes, I do. I'm saying that the bank is short thousands of dollars, and your father knows about it. And it won't be long before everybody else knows about it.
Why, there's not a word of truth in what you say.
Oh, how I wish there
And
wasn't.
even if it were true, I still don't quite see how that would...
Don't you? Well, then I'll tell you. The moment the truth comes out, the bank examiner will step in. The bank stores will close. There will be a receiver. Then your father will be bankrupt. A convict for all I know, but bankrupt. Then what will happen with my $2,000?
$2,000? That doesn't seem like a lot of money.
Doesn't it? Well, that's more than half that I've saved for my wife and kiddies. And I tell you, I will not leave this house without it. I'm hanged if I do.
Shh, please, Mr. Byrne.
Oh, you're afraid somebody will hear? Well, I'll make sure they all hear. You think by kicking me out that'll quiet my mouth? Well, I'll stand in the middle of the street and yell, thief! At the top of my lungs, thief! Do you hear me, thief?
Mr. Byrne, if I didn't know you better, I'd say you were either a blackmailer or a lunatic. But I will not have my father disturbed. No, you please have a seat. Please. Now, here's what I can offer you. I'll give you a receipt for $2,000, and this you will sign.
Will I?
After I give you my check for $2,000.
Well, how do I know the check will be any good?
Well, I'll date it 3 days from now, and then that's when the money will be available.
Well, how do I know?
Well, you don't. You're just going to have to take my word for it.
Ha!
Well, don't you see this is the only chance you have of getting your money? You can see that, can't you?
No, I can't.
Well, then let me explain it to you. No matter what happens tonight, you will not be allowed to see my father. That is final. And now, if as you threaten, you make your charges to the world, exposure will follow, and the bank will close, and my father will be a bankrupt, and your money will be irretrievably gone. Now, do you see that? Well, what do you say?
Well, I guess I'll have to take that chance.
All right. Oh, who is it?
It's me, Rick.
Oh, that's my mother. Seeing you here would just it would make her worry. I just wonder if you could just give me a few moments and wait in this closet.
How long will I have to wait?
I don't know, 15 minutes or so, but I will call you, okay?
Well, okay, I'll wait, but only for that long.
All right. Mother! Mother! Oh, please come in. Is anything the matter?
Oh, Rick, I'm so worried about your father.
Oh, what's the matter? Can he go to sleep?
He just dropped off, it isn't that. But it seemed as if he had something on his mind. I can't quite make it out.
Oh, well, it's probably just overwork, that's all.
Well, hasn't he said anything to you?
No, nothing at all that I can, just if you could just help him rest, that would be the greatest. I mean, don't ask him any questions, just help him rest, all right, Mother?
Well, I was thinking, when he feels a little bit better, maybe we could take him to California.
Well, we can talk about that when the time comes, Mother, okay? Just not right now.
Well, I'll try not to worry, but if anything should happen to your father, I don't know what I would do.
Oh, Mother. Oh, Mother, please don't worry, all right? Everything is going to be all right, okay? Just try not to worry. Good night, Mother.
Good night. Wait!
Oh, Miss Foster, you'll have to excuse me, or rather, a troublesome situation has come up, so I'll have to...
Wait, that story of yours with the tragic ending? It's your own.
What, you heard?
Yes,
How much?
Enough. Oh, I didn't mean to listen, but after the first few words, I couldn't go away. You're not angry, are you?
Angry? No, I'm not angry. I was a fool to tell you. I'm so sorry.
So that's what ails Mr. Caswell. He knows.
Yes, I had to tell him so that the policy would be promptly paid.
Listen, you must send this man away at once.
I am trying to, but he won't go. The only way I can get him to leave is to write him a check for $2 grand, and the only way to make the check good is to...
Oh.
Well, there is no other way.
We must find another way.
Well, I can't, but... We? You speak like this is your affair.
It is. From now on, I make it so.
Oh, no. You heard by accident. That was unintended. Just forget everything you know.
Forget? I can't forget. There must be a way out. All we need is time. Time to think. We've got to put this man off.
Shh. How? If I throw him out in the street, he's going to cause a riot and the whole thing will come out. Don't you see?
Leave him to me. I'll get rid of him.
Well, he is desperate, I tell you.
Give me 10 minutes with him. If he's not gone by then, come back.
Well, what then?
Well, we'll tell him the truth and throw ourselves on his mercy. That's all we can do. At any rate, I'll make him keep quiet.
Well, yes, but...
What did you say his name is?
It's Byrne.
Byrne. Is he married?
Yes?
I've got an idea.
What is it?
I'll not tell you. You'd be like all the rest and you'd think I'm crazy. Well, maybe I am, but I'm going to try it. I'll get that man out of this house if I have to blast him out.
But if there should be any trouble...
I'll call you. Please trust me.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Remember, I'm to have 10 minutes with him, and you're not to listen.
Okay, it's 9:45. At 5 minutes to 10, I'm coming back, okay?
Good. Oh, Mr. Byrne.
Yes?
Would you come here a moment, please?
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Howard has had to go with his mother for a few moments, and he asked me to entertain you until he comes back.
Well, I don't think I need any entertainment.
Well, from the look of you, I should think you need a great deal.
Eh? Well, I've never been much of a ladies' man.
Oh, you have been, though.
Eh?
Well, you're married, aren't you?
Well, how did you know that?
You have a married look. I'm Miss Foster.
How do you do?
I'm a guest here.
A relative?
No, not yet. I said not yet.
I heard you. I heard you.
Won't you let me take your hat? Won't you sit down? Won't you smoke?
I don't smoke. It's against the rules in the bank, it's against the rules in the subway, and the wife doesn't allow it in the house.
Ah. Mr. Byrne, you don't wish me any harm, do you?
You, heavens no.
I thought not.
Well, why would I? I've never seen you before in my life.
And yet, you are doing me an irreparable injury, Mr. Byrne.
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, what the heck? I beg your pardon.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. Won't you sit down again, please? Mr. Byrne, I'm sailing for Europe tomorrow morning on the Baltic. My mother is dangerously ill in London. So you see, I must sail in the morning. You understand? That's clear, isn't it?
Well, no one's stopping you. Go right ahead.
Well, I said before that I'm a guest here.
I heard you.
But actually, I was on the verge of a much closer footing.
Hey?
Well, when Miss Howard came in to announce your most inopportune arrival, I was in the act of persuading Mr. Howard to propose to me.
Oh, well, goodness gracious.
Well, naturally, you can understand how I felt.
No, I cannot.
Can't you?
No. Listen here, young woman. I'm here as a matter of business.
Well, as I was saying, there I was, in my prettiest gown. I'm wearing it now, do you like it? Chanel made it. Mother sent it to me as a birthday present. Oh, Mother. Oh, I wonder if I shall never see her alive again.
Please, Miss Foster. Please, don't cry.
Oh, thank you. No, I mustn't, must I? I must be brave. Where was I?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. There I was in my most beautiful gown at the moment I'd been working up to for years. And Mr. Howard was just about to open his mouth to ask me to be his wife, and then you came in. It's too much, Mr. Byrne. It's really just too much.
Well, never mind. I'm going away again.
Oh, go now, won't you?
Well, not until I have my $2,000 check.
Oh, I'll make Mr. Howard mail it to you as soon as I finish my business with him. That way you'll get it first thing in the morning. Oh, go now, dear man, and I'll love you all my life.
No, not until I'm done with my business.
Well, then it will be too late for mine.
Well, I can't.
Why can't you do business on business hours? These are my business hours.
But...
How would you like to have someone bothering around when you were trying to put through the biggest business deal of your life?
Business? You call this business?
Yes, the most important business of a woman's life. Getting married.
What do you think of that?
Oh, you will, won't you? You know what it means to me. It's my whole life. Oh, go now, and come back at 5 o'clock tomorrow. I'll be gone by then, but I'll be happy in spite of poor dear mother. And you will have done it, Mr. Byrne. Think of that. And I'll love you when I'm an old lady and my hair is white as snow.
I'll go. I'm hanged if I know why, but I'll go.
He's gone?
Yes, he's gone.
He's really gone?
Yes, he's really gone.
How on earth did you do that?
I'll never tell you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, now, to find a way out.
Oh, there is no way out.
Yes, there must be. I had a flash of something a moment ago, just a flash, while I was talking to that brute of a Byrne. Something about a story.
A story?
Yes, story. That's it! It's a good story as it stands, isn't it?
Well, I wasn't thinking of it in that light.
Yes, but you told it to me as a story.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking of it as a story.
Yes, that's what it is, so write it.
Write it?
Yes, write it down, just as it happened.
Well, suppose I did.
Write it and sell it.
Sell it for $20,000?
No, $25,000.
See here, did you ever hear of anyone giving $25,000 for a short story?
No, but I have for a play.
You mean?
Why not write it as a play?
By George.
You've written plays before, haven't you?
Well, yes, but time.
Well, how soon would you need the money?
Thursday noon.
Oh, this is Monday night. 2.5 days. Well, you could write this story in 24 hours, couldn't you? Of course you could. It's your own, your very own. You'd be writing it in your own blood. Write it down just as it happened.
You mean put everyone in it?
Yes, everyone that's had anything to do with it.
And you and me, of course, and...
Yes, and even that brute of a Byrne.
By George, if we only could.
Oh, why not, Rick?
Well, See here, I don't know anyone who's going to give me $25,000 for a play.
Well, successful plays make a great deal more than that, don't they?
Sure, but I couldn't even get into a manager's office.
I could.
You could.
Yes. At Vassar last fall at the big annual fundraiser, there was a man there named Gilmore.
What? Not Charles Gilmore.
Exactly. Well, I didn't know he was a theatrical manager, but his wife is very active with the Alumni Association, and we shared a table.
Okay, but I still don't quite see how we're going to get...
Don't you? I'm going to try to sell this play to Mr. Gilmore.
No, do you know anything about the usual contracts for plays?
This isn't a usual play.
And by an unknown author like me?
I know it sounds crazy, Rick. I can't argue with you about it. It's a thing I feel, that's all. Listen, Gilmore is in town. I read an interview with him in the paper this morning. We could get to him promptly. Oh, it's a chance, Rick. I know it's a long chance, but yet I've got a feeling.
I know, but...
Besides, it's the only chance we've got.
Look, Elaine...
Listen, look here. How long have we been calling each other by our Christian names?
Well, I don't know.
Nor I.
Well, does it matter?
Oh, not in the least. It's you and me together now. Our backs are against the wall. We've got to fight for the happy ending. Will you do it?
Yes. Yes, I will.
Yes, but you must be mad about it, quite mad as I am.
Oh, God bless you. I'll be as mad as you like.
Oh, wonderful.
Come on, let's begin.
Right. Have you got plenty of paper?
Oh, if I had to, I could write it on my sleeve.
All right, now think back to the very beginning. How did it all start?
Well, I could tell Dad had something on his mind from something that he let slip, and the more I thought of it, the more convinced I became, so I dragged it out of him. And since then, I've been down here racking my brain for a way out.
That's it.
What?
Act 1, you, here alone in your study, sitting at this very desk, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yes, any lights?
No, I think better in the dark.
Ah, well, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, Act 1. The curtain rises on a dark, black stage.
Curtain rises on a dark, black stage.
I brought you breakfast, since you refused to come to the table again.
Thank you. Don't do that. What time is it?
10 o'clock.
Morning or evening?
Morning, Featherhead. What's so important that you're holed up in here day and night on Easter week?
Well, I haven't got time to explain it, so scat.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it's going, it's going.
Do you like it?
I don't know. It's true anyhow.
How far have you gotten?
Well, I've gotten just about as far as I can.
What do you mean?
Well, I've gotten right up to the point where I left you to get rid of Byrne, but I don't remember what I said before I left.
Oh, something about your coming back?
Yes, I looked at my watch.
Yes, that's it.
Yes, it's 9:45. At 5 minutes to 10, I'm coming back.
Right.
Now, how did you get rid of Byrne?
Why haven't you eaten your breakfast?
I haven't got time to eat.
Oh, you've got to eat. You've got to keep your strength up.
Oh, I'm not hungry.
Doesn't matter. You've got to eat. Sugar on your grapefruit?
Sure.
Coffee?
Yes, thank you.
Cream in your coffee?
Yes, thank you.
Sugar?
Yes, please.
All right. Sugar in your coffee. Say, we should put this in the play.
This?
Yes, this breakfast scene. Velasco always had one.
Velasco.
Velasco always had one. Well, you're not eating much. I guess that's all right. They never do in plays. Well, no wonder the food they give the poor actors. But this is real food. You can eat this all right. I didn't make that coffee. Tell me, did you sleep any last night?
Oh, sleep. I don't feel like I could ever sleep again.
Oh, well, I was afraid you might, so about dawn, I snuck up and listened at your door.
Oh, you did?
Yes, but I heard you walking around the room.
Well, I'm not surprised. I got so nervous that I got up and moved all the furniture around and then moved it all back.
Well, then I knew it was all right, so I stole away to bed again.
Say, if you had found me asleep, what would you have done?
Well, I would have come in and waked you up, of course.
Oh, you would have? Oh.
Aw, have some toast.
Oh, please don't do that.
Oh, why not?
I only write by artificial light.
Oh, sorry.
It sounds foolish, I suppose, but it's something I've always done. It's sort of a habit that helps me shut out everything but what I'm doing.
Oh, that's quite all right. I can completely understand.
Oh, is it? Mother!
Well, I hope I'm not intruding.
No, not at all.
Passing by your room this morning, I noticed your bed had not been slept in. You haven't been up all night, have you?
Well, yes, I have.
Richard!
Well, why not?
Well, I just
Oh, I'm afraid it was my fault, Mrs. Howard.
No, that is nonsense.
Oh, no, shut up. You see, last night, Richard and I began discussing the plot of a story. He became so engrossed that he insisted on writing it immediately. Well, I tried to get him to wait until today, but he wouldn't listen to me.
Oh, I know. He's so young and strong. He thinks he can handle anything. Foolish boy.
Well, I like this. I've looked all over the house for Elaine and Mother, and here you are having a regular party.
Well, what do you think Rick has been doing?
Goodness knows.
He's been up all night writing.
Well, it looks like it. My, but it must be interesting. Rick, not unless you give me a reason. Byrne, all right then, I will. I didn't want to tell you. Remember that. You're driving me to it.
Oh, sis, put that down. Riz, come back here with that. This is not very ladylike. I've got to have that. But, Mother, would you mind?
Right.
Thank you.
Your old story. I don't believe it's any good anyhow.
Well, never you mind whether it's any good or not. Don't do that, Mother.
Well, what is the matter?
I am working on a very important story, and I only write by artificial light.
Well, fine, but I do think it's wrong to shut out the sunlight like this. It can't be healthy.
Mother, I am really very much obliged in your interest, really. But as I said, I'm working on something very important, and I would be very much obliged if you could just go away and leave me alone.
Well, very well.
We shall be only too pleased, I'm sure. You're not very interesting. Come on, Elaine, hats. 2 new ones just arrived.
Oh, well, of course, if it's hats.
No, you leave Elaine alone.
Elaine, why, Rick?
Well, I was just trying to make her feel at home.
It's quite all right. Richard.
But I can't have you dragging away like this. We're working on a story.
Well, anybody thinks she came to visit you, not me.
Well, I'll come back a little later, if I may.
Well, all right, but not too long.
Well, I go, but I return.
Rick, I wish you'd let
Mother,
him daylight.
please, Mother.
All right, Rick, all right. I'm going.
Is this all the paper I have? Hello, Bob. What are you doing?
Rick! Thank God! I thought you'd done it.
Done it?
I sneaked in. No one saw me. I slunk up the stairs. I could imagine you lying dead under that accursed lamp. I couldn't stand it any longer.
Well, you can see that I haven't done it, so I would appreciate it if you would just go away and let me work.
Get out?
Yes, get out and let me work.
What on earth are you doing?
Well, I'm writing a play.
Writing a play?
Yes, writing a play.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle.
Well, why shouldn't I write a play? Everyone else does.
Are you crazy?
No, I'm not crazy, and I wish you would just go away and leave me alone.
Look here, Rick. I'd like to know what you mean by this sort of thing.
What sort of thing?
When I left you last night, I didn't know if I would ever find you alive again or not. I didn't sleep a wink. I didn't even go to bed. I walked the streets all night, and in a panic of fear, I walk in through that door and find you writing a play.
Oh, but my dear fellow,
It's too much, that's what it is.
What,
A great deal too much.
If you just let me explain.
Do you think this is a nice way to treat a friend?
Well, I'm trying to tell you that.
I'd like to know what the devil you mean by it.
Look, Bob.
Writing a play.
Look, Bob, the fact is that something has happened.
So you're not going to do it?
Well, I didn't say that.
Then what do you say?
Well, I'm saying that I'm not going to do that just yet.
And you expect me to go on holding my tongue about it?
Well, certainly.
Good grief, I'm going to be a raving maniac by tomorrow night. What on earth has happened? Did your father find a way out?
No, I mean, when nothing has technically happened.
Nothing has technically happened, and you expect me to go and walk in the streets and tearing my hair out while you write a play?
Just, Bob, just sit down and let me explain it, okay? It's just like this. Well, the fact is I've thought of something. And it's such a wild thing that I can't even explain it to you. But I believe, hot dog, I believe that it's got a chance. And even if it doesn't have a chance, there's still time to do the other thing. So now do you see?
No, dadgummit!
Right, well that's the way it is. I mean, I couldn't explain it to you if I had the time, and I haven't got the time. So if you'll excuse me, if you've ever been my friend, you'll go away and you will let me get back to work.
On the play?
Yes, on the play!
Do you know, I think you're crazy.
I don't care what you think, as long as you will just go away and leave me alone.
If you think I can go on indefinitely while you decide whether you're going to kill yourself or not, you are mightily mistaken.
Oh, my dear Bob, now who is it?
That Mr. Burns is back.
Oh, he is he?
He's downstairs again, says he's got to see you.
Oh, he does, eh?
Yes, he does, And to make sure he does, he takes the liberty of walking upstairs.
Right. Won't you come in?
I am in.
Right. Well, Mr. Byrne, Mr. Caswell.
How do you do?
I prefer to speak to you alone.
Oh, certainly. Rick?
No, wait, Bob, what's your hurry? There's no need for privacy.
Have it your way.
Well, what do you want?
Well, you know mighty well what I want.
No, I don't. The last time I saw you, you were to wait in that room for 15 minutes, and I was to call upon you. I went back in 10 minutes, and I found you gone. Now, what do you mean by breaking your promise?
Well, you see the
Oh,
thing...
come, please don't dodge.
Well, didn't you speak to that woman?
That woman?
Yes.
You mean Miss Foster?
Miss Foster, if that's her precious name. Didn't she tell you why I didn't wait?
No, she didn't tell me. Why didn't you wait?
Well, if she didn't tell you, I don't see how the deuce I can.
Oh, well, see here, I haven't the remotest idea what you're talking about. Have you, Bob?
I haven't the remotest idea what either of you are talking about.
Well, if it's any of your business.
It might be. How should I know?
Don't do that!
Why, Mr. Byrne, how do you do? This is a surprise.
Well, it is to me.
How are you?
You missed your boat.
Boat?
Yes, the Baltic.
Oh, yes, my boat. I missed the boat. Yes, I missed that boat. Yes.
So I see.
You missed your boat.
Yes, Rick, I missed my boat. Actually, Mr. Byrne, I missed the boat on purpose.
Ah,
You'll be happy to hear that Mother is doing much better.
well, that's nice.
Yes, I got a cablegram last evening saying that she is almost fully recovered. Isn't that fine?
Well, that's just great. I was a great deal worried about Mother.
Say, Rick, what are they talking about?
Well, can't you hear, Bob? They're talking about Mother. Shut up.
Mr. Byrne, I know what you've come for.
Yes, young woman, you do. I've come for my check, and I will not leave without it.
Oh, is that it?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, he's come for his check, Bob.
That makes it all perfectly clear.
And I'll tell you something else. Here I sit until I get it.
Now, Mr. Byrne,
There will be no talking me out of this house this time.
I hope you don't think that I deceived you.
You? Heavens, no. You wouldn't do a thing like that. No.
Of course not.
Didn't you say that you were going to have Mr. Howard mail me that check last night so I'd get it first thing in the morning?
Yes.
Well, I didn't get it.
See here, Rick. Why didn't you mail that check to Mr. Byrne?
You didn't tell me to mail it.
Oh, there you see. I didn't tell him to mail it.
Huh?
I don't like that, huh,
Oh,
Mr. Byrne?
You don't, do you?
No, I don't.
Huh?
Didn't I tell you that I would have Mr. Howard mail the check as soon as I had finished my business with him?
Well, I suppose you did.
Well, I haven't finished my business with him.
Here, Elaine, what business?
None of yours.
Do you mean to say that you weren't able to make him?
See here, Elaine, I'd like to know what you're talking about.
So would I, for that matter.
No, I wasn't able to make him.
Well, I don't believe it. You'd make the devil himself!
Oh, just a moment here. You're questioning this lady's word. That is an insult.
Not at all, Rick. It's a compliment.
What?
Mr. About my check.
Oh, you mean to say that such a minor little trifle like a $2,000 check will make you go away?
I certainly do.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Rick, are you going to give that man a check for $2,000?
I am?
Mr. Byrne, I have a very attractive proposition to you. May I ask, are you insured?
Insured?
Are the little ones at home provided for?
Huh?
Now, one of our 15-year life endowment policies is generally considered to be one of the most effective...
Oh, good Lord! About that affair last night. You can't make me believe that you made him,
Indeed.
well, not after the way he treated me. Why, when I got out in the middle of the street and thought this whole thing over.
That's right, Mr. Byrne. You go out in the street and you think it over very well. Here is your check for $2,000 dated 3 days from now.
How do I know that?
Oh, don't ask me that again. Anyhow, we've been over this. Anyhow, that's the only chance you have of getting your money.
Well,
No. If you would only get out of this house, I'd be willing to kiss you.
So would I.
Good night.
Good day. Well, it cost me $2,000 to get rid of him. What'll you go for?
All I want is a kind word.
Oh, well, angel of my dreams, get out.
Apple of my eye. Bye-bye.
I'm an angel and an apple.
You are.
Well, somebody's crazy.
Will you get out of this house or will I have to throw you out?
You can say what you like, but if you think I'm going to go on another 12 hours such as what you put me through...
You know, you are absolutely right. I apologize. You're absolutely right. You have my word as a gentleman that nothing will happen to me until you see me again.
You mean it?
Absolutely I do.
Well, that's all right. Say, Rick, is there anything I can do for you?
Yes, you can close the door on your way out. On your way out, yes. On your way out, on your way out, on your way out.
Where's the last page?
Well, it's right there.
This,
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, it's 9:45. At 5 minutes to 10, I'm coming back.
Now, will you tell me how you got rid of Byrne?
Well, I've got an idea about that, Rick. Suppose you let me write it.
What for?
Well, I don't think I could explain it to you.
Why not?
Well, I'd have to think it all out clearly anyway, and I might as well just write my thoughts down. That way you can go on writing Act 2.
Act 2? You mean to say that you getting rid of Byrne is the end of the first act?
Yes?
No, you've got to get a good punch. You've got to give it a good curtain line.
You're right. So we do. Oh, you remember when we were sitting here, and I said, the curtain rises on a dark black stage?
Yes.
Well, where the curtain rises, that's where the curtain falls, you see?
The curtain rises where the curtain falls?
The curtain falls where the curtain rises?
The curtain... I like it.
Yes.
Yes, I'll make a note of that.
All right.
We'll see here.
Well, that brings us right down to...
Well, wait a minute. Don't you think it's time we put some comedy into this thing?
Comedy?
Well, sure. I mean, people have enough trouble of their own without coming to the theater for more trouble.
Oh, well, wait till I write how I got rid of Byrne.
Was that funny?
Funny? Oh, I think there'll be a few laughs in it. Well, the fact is, it's almost too funny to be true. And while I go on writing that, you can begin Act 2 and let it begin here, sitting at your desk when Elsie brought in your breakfast. And don't forget the Belasco breakfast.
Yes, and then you, and then Mother, and then Elsie.
Yes, and Bob.
Oh, yes. Well, I've already put Bob into the first act. I mean, I had to tell him the whole plan, and then he took Elsie to the dance, and well, I think we'd like to use him for a comic relief in the second act.
All right.
He was, except right up to the end where he expected to find me dead on the floor.
Oh, well, splendid.
Splendid?
Well, I mean for the play.
Oh.
Yes. And then there's my friend Byrne. You could do something with Byrne,
Oh, I could do a lot with Byrne.
Yes, well, then while I go on writing my comedy scene with Byrne, you can go on writing Act 2 and bring it down to the present moment. Do you see?
Well, I see perfectly, but where do we go from here?
Don't you worry about that. Something's bound to happen.
Hello, Mother.
Your father wants to see you.
Well, I can't do it right now. I'm working on a very important part of the story.
Well, he insists. He said to tell you, if you don't come immediately, he will come to you.
He is really not supposed to get out of bed. You'll have to excuse me.
Oh, wait. He asked for something from your desk.
Oh, please be careful. Mother, I have got it all organized.
Here, just take it all.
Okay.
So Elsie tells me you're her favorite professor.
Oh, that's very flattering. Elsie is one of my favorite students.
It was so kind of you to come visit her.
Oh, that was so kind of her to invite me.
I see you've been spending much of your time with my son.
Oh, have I? Well, he's a writer, and I am...
I'm not sure if he's a very good one. Despite his few little published things, staying up all night, writing goodness knows what, where in the world does he come up with these ideas?
Oh, where indeed?
Oh, and I see you're a writer as well. It looks like you're having a regular writers' convention in here.
Oh, well, I am an English professor, but honestly, I was just helping your son work out a plot.
Oh, what do you think of Rick? You're such a beautiful girl.
Oh, thank you.
So happy and so young. I remember how wonderful it was to be so young and happy. And Elsie and Rick, too. Poor Rick. He doesn't understand how wonderful it is to be so young. I'm afraid I'll never be happy again. Ah! What's that?
Oh, no. Oh, stay here. I'm sure everything is fine. Fine.
What was that?
What on earth? Where's Rick?
Oh, Rick, my boy!
Oh, that was a horrid thing.
What is it? What is it?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just a little careless.
Careless?
Careless.
I was telling Father just part of the story that we're writing.
It's about the story?
Well, yes, there's a fellow in it who has to shoot a gun, and I was telling Father how he would hold it, and I guess it just went off. I'm so sorry.
Never.
Tell you one thing, you scared me nearly to death.
Rick, you and your father might have been killed.
Look here, Rick. Oh, please dry up. Okay, I really am. Listen, Elsie, just get Mother downstairs and calm her down, okay? Bob, you get rid of this thing, okay? And you keep them downstairs, okay? Elaine, I'll have to explain later. I just need about 10 minutes to get myself together, okay? You mean this is how it would happen after I left you to get rid of Byrne?
Yes, as best as I can remember it.
And this part here about where you tried to get me to her.
Yes, I had to get you to propose to me, yes.
And all this stuff about your mother being sick in London.
Yes, that too.
Oh, no wonder Byrne was so sorry. I never heard anything like it.
Well, I had to get rid of him somehow, so I just said the first thing that came to my mind.
Well, yes, I know, but...
I got rid of him, didn't I?
Well, yes, you did.
Well, what more do you want?
God bless you, nothing at all. Well, there's no point in reading the rest of this. It just goes on to the end where you say the curtain rises on a dark black stage.
Yes, and Act 2 is fine as far as you've gone.
You know, right up to where the gun went off. Oh, that was a horrid thing. Made me sick to my stomach. Anyway, that's where the play stops, and we're still a long way off from where I can see.
Yes, I was just going to speak about that, Rick. There's just one thing that our play is missing that it's got to have.
What is that?
It's what they call heart interest.
Oh, you mean there's no love story?
It's got to have one, Rick. There's no use trying to sell it without one.
Yeah, I guess so. The hero and the heroine have got to fall in love somehow.
Precisely. Handsome hero and beautiful heroine thrown together in the midst of the hero's trials and tribulations, just as we have been. In the desperate process of trying to find a way out, just as we're doing now, they must gradually come to the realization that
they love each other.
yes. Because don't you see that makes their success all the more important and necessary? I mean, things were difficult enough for you before, but now... Now
that I'm in love with you.
That is, supposing you were in love with me?
Yes, that's what I meant. If I was in love with you.
Yes, and I with you, well, it would be...
Yes.
Yes, that's what it would be.
Would be, yes.
Well, so now, so long as our play is a record of fact, so far as we've gone, suppose we pretend the rest of it is true too.
Well, yes, but...
Well, see, you and I are actually the principal figures in our story. Do you see? Like, you are the handsome hero, and I, in a manner of speaking, the beautiful heroine.
Handsome? Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, all heroes are handsome.
Yes, and all heroines beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And intelligent.
Well, of course, that's of no importance.
Well, but it's everything to me. I need a him. For you, for her, I need a... Oh, for crying out loud. I'm getting all mixed up. I keep telling myself that I can't tell where fact ends and fantasy begins. It's like 3 days ago I didn't know who you were, and then 5 hours ago my father tried to kill himself, and if it weren't for you, they might even be planning my funeral right about now. And we're all putting it into a play. Except it's not a play, it's all real. Or is it? I don't even know. I'm going crazy. Woo!
Come, Rick. You must pull yourself together. We've got a lot of work to do and not much time to do it.
I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Well, never mind about that. Are you quite all right?
Yes, I'm all right.
Oh, good. Well, now for the heart interest.
Okay.
I mean, the love story.
All right.
Suppose we act it out to make it more convincing.
Act it out?
Yes. You go back to the part where you had just finished reading my part of the first act, and I had just finished reading your part of the second act. Is that clear?
Sure.
All right. Begin.
Begin.
Yes, lead up to your suddenly realized regard for me.
My sudden... By Jove, you're wonderful.
Oh, that's good. That'll do well for a beginning.
Well, no, I mean it.
Oh? Well, I mean, I was talking about the play.
Oh.
Oh, go back and say it again, and then we'll go from there.
All right. By Jove, you're wonderful.
Well, say it as though you mean it. It'll put me in the mood.
By Jove, you're wonderful.
Nonsense, Rick. Don't be absurd.
Are you acting right now?
Of course I am.
Okay, I'm sorry. Couldn't tell, you said it so naturally.
Oh, Rick, you've got to put everything out of your head but the play. Now, you and I are trying to act a love scene. We need one desperately. Now, you and I are merely characters in our story. Is that clear?
Sure, characters.
We'll try to remember it.
I'll get it.
All right, now let's go back.
Uh-huh.
By Jove, you're wonderful.
Okay. By Jove, you're wonderful.
Oh, nonsense, Rick. Don't be absurd.
But you are, and you know it.
Well, at any rate, I don't mind your thinking so.
Well, that wouldn't prevent it if you did.
Rick, we haven't time for this sort of thing.
Haven't we?
Have we?
It may be the only time we ever had. Have you ever thought of that?
Yes? No? Oh, no. No, it's too terrible. Besides, we have to go on with our work.
Oh, Elaine, no. I mean, no, don't be afraid. I can't hurt you, but I've got to go on. I got to tell you.
No, please, no.
No, really. I can't concentrate on what we're trying to do. My heart is so full that my brain won't let me do its work. My heart is so full of you.
Oh, Rick.
It's been 3 days ago, I didn't even know your name, and not 24 hours ago, you came bursting through that door like a flame that leaps through darkness. Just burning through everything that I ever read or dreamed that was wonderful. You fire my brain and you're warming my heart, all my soul, my life, my dear.
Oh.
It's ridiculous. Things like that don't happen in real life, but it's true. It's the truest thing I've ever known.
Oh, Rick.
I know it's not fair of me to speak like this, knowing that I'm under a provisional sentence of death, but I can't help it. Loving you is the finest thing I've ever done, and I can't bear the thought that you should never know. So it's sort of a bequest. I want to leave you with the finest thing that I have. Do you mind?
Do you mean it, Rick?
Absolutely, I do.
Well, I think we're doing very well so far.
Doing well so far?
That's for the play. It's wonderful.
For the play? Oh, sheesh!
Oh, Rick, that's good. Oh, that's fine. You must keep that pose. You see, I'm not quite sure whether you're in earnest or you're just playing, but it's very effective.
Do you think so?
Yes. All right, so we need to go back a moment. Now, let's go back here. Do you mean it, Rick?
Absolutely, I do.
Oh, Rick, I wondered if you cared.
Well, couldn't you tell?
Well, sometimes I hoped you did, and then I hoped you didn't, because, well, if things should go wrong, and, well, it might be all the more difficult for you to bear, and now you do care, and it's too late to stop you.
Well, sure, it's too late, but you didn't need to be sorry.
Sorry? Oh, my dear. Last night as I lay in bed and watched the first faint gray creep through my window, it felt as though I had never seen the dawn before. And then I walked to my window and looked down at the brightening sky, and presently tears came to my eyes. And then I knew. Well, and then, like a flood of glory, the sun and my love rose together.
Gotta write some of this down.
Rick, I mean it!
Oh, Elaine.
Absolutely, I do.
Elaine?
Yes?
Elaine?
Yes?
Oh, Elaine.
Now you see we have our heart interest.
Oh, Elaine! You don't mean, you can't mean.
Hello, Central. Please get me Bryant 13373, New York.
Well, see here, Elaine.
Shh, not now, please. Are you ready to start?
Start? What for?
Yes, for New York.
New York?
Yes, I called Mr. Gilmore's office this morning to make a provisional appointment for 5 o'clock.
What on earth for?
To read him the play.
But it's not done.
Hello, I would like to speak with Mr. Gilmore, please. This is Miss Foster. Yes, Miss Foster, thank you. Now get the manuscript together. We haven't got much time.
It's not done.
Do as I say, please.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Gilmore. Yes, this is Miss Foster. Yes, we will be at your office at 5 o'clock. Yes, thank you. The car should be around front. I had the chauffeur bring it.
But this play is not even done.
It's near enough. We can read him what's written and act the love scene.
But even then it's not done.
Not done?
No, there's no act 3. What happens next? I don't know.
I do.
Well, you do?
Yes. Now don't stand there gibbering. Don't I tell you it's all right?
All right.
Yes.
But I want to know what happens next.
Well, then come along and I'll tell you in the car.
In the car?
Hey, there was a car out front?
Huh?
Now, for the last time, are you coming or not?
Well, all right, I'm going. I guess I'm just like Byrne. Hanged if I know why I'm going, but I'm going.
Well, then come on.
Say, where are you off to now?
Are you kidding me? We're going to sell the play.
Sell the play! What the heck? Wait, for me! Don't just leave me!
Mrs. Howard, Elsie, and Bob go out. Rick to Elaine. It's all right. I'll explain later. Come back in 10 minutes. Keep them downstairs. I just need a few minutes to pull myself together. Elaine goes out. Rick closes the door hastily behind them and leans heavily against it in a state bordering upon collapse as the lights go out.
So, the old chap tried to shoot himself?
Yes.
So, is that the end of your act?
Oh, no, there's one more scene to come.
Oh, new set?
Well, no, it's the same set. What we thought we'd do is dim the lights for about 10 seconds to indicate the passing of about 5 hours.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Bingham, please.
Right away, sir.
So, what happens during this interval?
Well, Rick is supposed to get himself calmed down and his father to sleep, and then he and Elaine go on and finish the rest of the play.
Pardon me, just a moment. So, I have an interview an appointment this hour.
Yeah, he's out there now.
Listen, would you tell him to go around to the Lambs Club for about 30 minutes? This guy's brought me a play that's different from anything I've ever heard.
As good as that.
Even better. I haven't even heard all of it yet. But if it plays out in the last act, it's going to be a corker.
All right, I'll hold him up.
Mr. Howard, you've been reading for a while. Please, would you take some water?
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Gilmore.
Oh, very well.
I'll have some, please.
Oh, pardon me.
Thank you.
Okay, read me the rest of the play.
Well, Mr. Gilmore, from that point forward, that's it.
What?
We haven't written the rest.
Oh, I don't get you.
Well, we were going to tell it to you.
Oh, well, that's okay, but there's something wrong. I mean, terribly wrong.
What is it?
Well, you have no heart interest.
I told you.
That's what she said.
Yes, Mr. Gilmore, I did say that, and that we needed some heart interest, and so we put some in.
Oh, well, I haven't seen it. Is it any good?
Well, I think that you might not think it's so bad.
Well, do you like it?
I guess so.
Well, where is it in the play?
That's the rest of Act 2.
I see. But you haven't written it yet.
No, we just sort of acted it out.
Acted it out?
Yes.
Well, what happens in this love scene? Do the young people get married?
Married? I don't know.
Well, do they?
Well, I'm not quite sure.
Well, confound it. I want to know whether they get married. I mean, not that I really give a hang, but the audience is going to want to know.
Yes, I suppose they will.
Well, are they?
Well, you see, Mr. Gilmore, I said what you said. There isn't any hard interest, and he agreed that there should be some. So we just sort of went on and invented speeches along that line.
I see. Well, do you know whether or not they get married?
Well, I mean, we made up the speeches so as to leave each of them in doubt.
In doubt.
Well, some doubt, yes.
All right. What's the end of the second act? Give me the curtain.
Yes, Rick, give him the curtain.
Yeah, the curtain, yes. Well, the curtain shows them rushing off to sell the play to the manager.
To the manager.
Yes, to you.
To me?
Yes.
Wait, so the end of your second act is where you rush off to sell the play to me?
Yes.
Well, I'll be...
Oh, and you want to be very careful what you say because it's all going in the play.
Every word.
You mean you put me in the play?
Well, we have to. We don't know how to finish it unless we know you're going to buy it or not.
Well, good grief. How can I say whether or not I'm going to buy it until you finish it?
Well, don't you see, Mr. Gilmore? The outcome of the play depends on you. We don't know whether yet it's going to be a comedy or a tragedy.
Well, if you don't know, who does?
Well, you do.
I do.
Yes.
Say, are you trying to make me think that I'm helping you write this play?
Well, yes, that's exactly it. Because as she said, if you buy the play, it'll be a comedy, and if you don't, it'll be a tragedy. Because you may remember.
Yes, I remember that.
It stands that the hero does not sell this play and soon, and he's going to have to follow through with his original intention.
And kill himself.
Yes.
Well, I don't care for that ending.
Well, I don't care for it either.
Well, you're the author. Put a happy ending to it.
I will, if you buy it.
Well, if I buy it, you'll put a happy ending in it?
No. If you buy it, that will be the happy ending.
By George, that's a big idea.
Yeah.
Well, it's unusual, and that's all right. I've been looking for a novelty, and here it walks right into my office. Now, if you work up this last act, I think it'll be a cinch.
Oh, I think so.
So do I.
Right, I'll take it.
Oh, there's just one more thing, Mr. Gilmore. We just have to tell you.
Oh, yes, there's one thing.
No. Shh. I was writing a check out once, and I wrote $3,000 instead of $300 because I was being talked to. And the son of a gun cashed it, too. There you go. Now, come around in the morning and sign the contracts.
Hudson Trust Company, $500.
$500? Mr. Gilmore, this isn't enough.
Not enough? $500 is not enough?
No, sir.
What do you want?
We need $22,000.
$22,000?
In advance, please.
Hey, Steve, come here. This is my stage manager. These young people have come to sell me a play. It's not even finished yet. And they're asking $22,000.
As I live and breathe. $22,000.
See? He thinks you're crazy. And you just might be.
Well, Mr. Byrne, you don't understand. $500 is just not enough for 1,000 or 5,000 or even 10,000.
See here. I like your play. I want to produce your play. But $22,000. In all my experience as a theatrical manager.
Well, Mr. Gilmore, if you'll just let me explain, this play is absolutely true.
What?
Yeah. I mean, I'm the hero.
And I'm the heroine.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I understand you.
Just as we say, Mr. Gilmore.
We used real names in the play. Mine, Miss Foster's, my father's, my mother's. I mean, of course, they'll all have to be changed. We didn't have time to do that, but...
Wait, you say you've used real names, but I've never heard of Clarendon Trust.
Oh, well, that is the one name that we did change. And if I tell you, you're going to have to keep it in strictest confidence.
Well, of course.
Well, the name of the bank is McKinley National.
Wait. You mean to tell me your father is really president of McKinley National Bank?
Yes, sir. He has been for 15 years.
And Byrne is paying teller there, too.
McKinley National Bank. James Howard, president. Well, that's preposterous.
Well, it may be, but it's true.
How do I know it's true? How do I know it's on a frame-up? Give me some proof, at least about the bank.
Well, I would if I could, but I can't have you rousing of suspicion at the bank. I mean, that would the whole thing would come out. No, you're just going to have to believe us. And if you can't, then there's nothing else for us to say but good day.
And then go finish yourself off.
Well, that would convince you, wouldn't it?
Upon my word, I believe you're crazy.
What about me?
So how did you describe this man, Byrne?
Byrne? Well, I don't think we described him at all.
But you know him.
Well, sure, I know him.
So he's a tall, thin chap, rather handsome?
Oh, no, no.
No, he's more of a short, round, pumpkin-y kind of fellow.
Yeah, with pop eyes.
Yeah.
In fact, he looks a little like your stage manager. A little taller.
Well, shorter, I think.
Well, that's on the level. He's paid out thousands of dollars to me over the years.
So you believe us?
Give me McKinley National
Oh,
Bank.
no, I can't have you stirring up the bank.
No,
Have
it'll
it.
be okay.
No, you'll ruin everything. You gave me your word.
No, I will not ruin everything. It'll be okay. I'm going to keep my word. Hello, McKinley National?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Yes, this is Charles Gilmore. Yes, I need to speak with James Howard. Oh, he's gone home sick?
There, you see?
Okay, when do you expect him back? Oh. Well, let me speak with Mr. Byrne, paying teller.
If you say one word to that brute about me, I'll...
Mr. Byrne? Yes. Gilmore here. Charles Gilmore? Yes. Say, Byrne, do you know a young woman by the name of Foster?
Say!
Yeah, Elaine Foster. Oh, you do you? Oh, she said that? Mr. Byrne, there's a lady present. Hello? Hello? He rung off.
I judge he seemed to know me.
Yes, I judge he did. Would you like to hear what he had to say?
No, thank you. See, Mr.
Oh, wait. All that farce in the first act between you and Byrne, that actually happened?
Of course it did.
I would have never believed that in a million years.
And now you know that my father is home ill, and if you need proof that I can raise $25,000 by killing myself, I can bring you my life insurance policy from Home Life Insurance Company, just as I said in Act 1.
And how much is this insurance policy?
$25,000.
Say, you only asked me for $22,000. Do I get a rebate?
We're letting you in at cost.
Oh.
We need $20,000 for the bank and $2,000 for Byrne.
Then, if you carry out your original plan and all the debts are paid, what's to be done with the rest of the money?
The $3,000? Well, I don't know. I guess part of it would be used to raise my funeral expenses.
Oh, you keep bringing up that dismal finish of yours. You know, this is blackmail.
What, blackmail?
Yes. You say that you're going to kill yourself if I don't give you $22,000 for this play.
Well, that's not blackmail.
Yes, well, it amounts to the same thing. It's not fair.
Fair? Well, when a man's fighting for his life, he doesn't care about trifles like fairness. Listen, Mr. Gilmore, if I could do or say anything to get you to buy this play, I'd do it, even if it amounts to burglary.
So would I.
Why pick me? Why make me the goat?
Well, I guess that was my idea.
Oh, many thanks.
Well, you're the only theatrical manager I know, Mr. Gilmore, and from the little I saw of you at Vassar last fall.
No, that won't do.
You seemed a decent sort.
No, that won't do.
What?
That's baloney. It just won't work. $22,000. It's just not business.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry to put you in this position, but... Well, I guess there's nothing left to say, but good day. Are you coming, Elaine?
Mr. Gilmore.
No, it's just not business.
Elaine?
No.
Yes.
Say, you can't leave me here like this.
Why not?
Well, say you go and you do what that chap in the play says he's going to do. And tomorrow morning I wake up and I open my paper and I read, Bank president, son, electrocutes himself. Family prostrate, mother and sister despaired. What, for the rest of my life, I'll feel like a confounded murderer.
Well, of course I should feel very sorry about that.
I guess I'd feel sorry about it too if it weren't for the fact that at that particular time I'd be totally incapable of feeling anything.
Oh, Beck!
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't think.
Well, you should start thinking.
Oh, I can't bear it.
Well, I can't bear it either. People have feelings. Even theatrical managers.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Gilmore, but just as the fact is that the whole thing hangs on the finish, I just don't see how
Oh,
we're
he's
gonna...
quite right, Mr. Gilmore. He's quite right. I'm sorry to be making such a scene, but I think I've stood about all I can.
So you have, and it's all my fault.
Yes, it is your fault.
Well, I said it first, you don't have to rub it in. Are you ready, Elaine? Well,
Yes. Yes, I'm all right.
let's go.
Yes. I'm sorry to have made such a scene, Mr. Gilmore, but well, the fact is...
Oh, there, young lady. There. It's perfectly natural for you to feel like... Say, wait a minute. If I thought you were acting, why,
Well,
I'd offer you a 5-year contract and $400 a week.
Mr. Gilmore, successful plays make a great deal, but make more than $22,000 for the author, don't they?
Yes, they
Well,
do.
they make a great deal more than $22,000, right?
Some of them.
Okay, well, here's what let's do. Suppose we finish the second act just as we've described.
Well, that won't finish your
Well,
play.
no, but this act would.
This one?
Yes, the one we're in right now.
Yes.
Well,
Suppose we write down everything we've said since we walked in the door.
And suppose you take the play and give us a check for $22,000.
oh, help.
Well, and suppose we finish the play that way.
Oh, have a heart.
Oh, well, don't you think you'd like it?
Like it, but $22,000.
Well, Mr. Gilmore, do try to put aside all personal considerations. Don't you think you'd like it as a play?
Yes.
Well, don't you think it'd have a chance?
Yes, but
A
if I
good
could,
chance?
if I could just not think about the fact that it's so darn true.
Well, you know what the money's for. By the way, I'm beginning to like this act.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
At Vassar, I teach my students that the essence of drama is struggle, and we're certainly having a struggle getting $22,000 out of you.
Struggle. It's a contortion.
Look, Mr. Gilmore,
Come in.
There's a man outside.
Didn't I tell you not to bother me?
Yes, but he said...
I don't care what he said. Just please go away.
Mr. Gilmore, I'm afraid that we just don't have anything.
Somebody get this guy off me or I'll kill him! I will now!
What's going on here?
Judy, get a policeman.
No, that's okay.
Okay, what do you mean it's okay?
Well, this is Mr. Caswell. He's with us. We explained this story to him on the way down, and he's been waiting outside, and I guess he just got a little excited.
Well, that doesn't give him a reson to assault my stage manager.
Yeah, you...
Now go away or I'll knock you
Oh,
off.
you will? Well, you're right here.
Steve. We got this. Just go, please.
All right, I'll go. Just wait till I get him outside, and we'll see.
You still want the police, Mr. Gilmore?
No, thank you. Caswell, was it?
Yes, sir.
Where have I heard that name?
In the play, Mr. Gilmore.
I'm the life insurance agent.
Oh, the life insurance agent. That's amazing. Say, did you know you were in the play?
Sure, didn't I tell you I was a life insurance agent?
I'm in it too. I'm the manager.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Wow. You know, as a comedic character, you're great. But as a life insurance agent, you're a piece of work.
What do you mean?
Well, aren't you getting set to defraud the company that pays your salary?
Is that so? Well, what would you do?
Me.
Yes. Suppose you were dead broke, and your best friend said he was going to kill himself in order to save his family from disgrace and ruin. What would you do?
Well, I'd stop him, of course.
You would? How?
Well, I'd dig up the money.
How?
I'd borrow it.
All right, lend it to me.
Mr. Bob, will you sit down? This is not your affair.
Isn't it?
No, it's not.
It is, though. Do you think I want to keep my company?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, my dear, you absolutely have to put that line in the play. That's going to get your biggest laugh. Lend it to me.
Well, Mr. Gilmore?
Young man, I don't know that you understand what you're asking of me.
Well, I think I do.
Well, if I spend $22,000 on this play, by the time the curtain goes up, I'm going to be in it for $40,000.
A mere drop in the bucket.
Oh, a bucket. You don't mind spending my money.
Mr. Gilmore, I have a very attractive proposition to you.
Yes.
May I ask, are you insured?
What?
Are the little ones at home provided for?
Little ones?
Now, what of our 15-year life endowment?
What have I ever done? Oh. Say, Mr. Life Insurance Agent, you sure are writing yourself a good part in this play. Are the little ones covered?
Mr. Gilmore, I'm afraid that there is nothing more than we can say with this. If you buy this play and it fails, do you think from this sample of my work that I could one day write you a success?
I think there's a very good chance.
Okay, well then you take this play, and if it fails, I'll go on writing plays for you until you get your money back. Well, I'll go on writing plays for you for the rest of my life if I have to. Well, Mr. Gilmore, I'll do anything you say. I'll bind myself under any contract you choose. Look, I'll run your errands. I'll write your letters. I'll be your valet. I'll be your slave. Mr. Gilmore, I'll scrub your floors. I'll even polish your blessed shoes. I'll do anything. I'll do it all with joy in my heart, as long as there's flesh in my bones and breath in my body. Please, so help me God.
What's the date?
16.
No, there's
Keep
just
writing. Keep writing.
Miss Gilmore, honestly, what do you think of it?
Think about what?
The play. Do you think the public will like it?
Oh, of course. They must. Oh, the darlings, they must. Oh, you do, don't you? You do.
Mr. Howard? Mr. Howard, I think she fancies herself in this play. And I think we would do worse if we were to employ her.
Well, Mr. Gilmore, why don't you play this part?
This part?
Yes, the manager, the part you're playing right now.
Well, I'm certainly the type. Wow. $22,000. If I do this, Ziegfeld and Rogers and Hammerstein, they're going to look like pikers. And Cary Grant would spend more than that just to get a chance at my part. I know, I've got to start the publicity campaign of my life. I'm gonna have a play contest, and I'll award the prize to this play.
That's a big idea.
There's my title. Can you see it on the marquee? Charles Gilmore presents The Big Idea.
Why don't you tell the truth about the play, Mr. Gilmore?
What?
Tell them it's a true story. Well,
Oh, that's a big idea,
if
too.
you can make them believe it, well, they'd never let you lose by it, just because you were kind to two people who needed it so very, very much.
You know, the night of the play, when it opens, I'll go out in front of the audience, and I'll tell them that it's true. Wow. Well, I'm in it now.
Hudson Trust Company, paid in the order of Mr. Richard Howard, $22,000. Rick, there's your happy ending.
I can't
That's okay, my boy.
No, I want to. I mean,
Do you really want to do something for me?
oh yeah, I'll do anything.
Then in that case, never tell anyone about that check. If word gets out I spent that much money on a play, I'll have every grafter in the state here. It'll be so crowded it'll look like a doubleheader at Yankee Stadium.
Well, won't they find out when the play is produced?
Maybe they won't believe me. Yes?
Forget about that appointment.
Oh, no.
He's out there now, and he says if you want to hear this play, you gotta read it now.
Hear this play. Tell him I'm broke. Tell him I'm going out of business. I'm never buying another play.
Are you mad? Do you know who that is?
It doesn't make any difference who that is. I just got cleaned out by the Hold-Up twins.
Hold up, twins.
Yes, I just gave Jesse James and his partner a check for $22,000.
$22,000. Some comedian. $22,000.
I wonder what he's going to say when he finds out I really did.
Mr. Gilmore, can I use your phone? I want to call my father.
Sure.
Hello, can I have Elmdale 2099? Yes, 2099. Oh, it's busy. Yes. Well, can you ring me back? Okay. Thank you. Oh, he's going to be so happy.
Say,
Huh?
while we're waiting on that number, what about that hard interest?
Do you mean it, Rick?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Now that's the way to end it. Don't you agree? I think that the audience will give them 3 curtain calls. Won't you?
You wrote a check for what?